officially undefeated. The Bucs beat number 1 ranked Texas in a defensive showdown to kick off the season 14-7 yesterday. Julian Sain completed 13 out of 20 passes for the Bucs. Cornell Tate led the team with 24.5 rushing yards and a touchdown, while Arvell Reese picked up a sack on defense and Jermaine Matthews pulled down an interception. The Bucs take on Grambling next week at the Shoe. Elsewhere around college football, LSU beat Clemson 17-10. Penn State beat Nevada 46-11. And that team up north topped New Mexico 34-17. The Guardians beat the Mariners last night in Game 2 of the series with big potential playoff implications. Kyle Manzardo hit his 23rd homer of the year, and Gavin Williams turned in another terrific start for the Guards in the 4-3 victory. That series concludes this afternoon. The Reds were unable to pick up the win last night at home against the Cardinals. Matt McClain went yard and Gavin Lux contributed an RBI double, but the Reds lost 4-2. That series wrapped this afternoon at 12:10 with coverage right here on The Fan. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan.
From ONN, this is Hollywood Casinos On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Here are your hosts, Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Welcome to On the Money. I am Dave Biddle. I'm joined by Scotty Vegas, producer Adam Latek at the controls. This is a show about sports gambling, and today it's a show about Ohio State football as well. It usually is, Scotty Vegas. Buckeyes get it done, 14-7. A defensive struggle. I don't know if I even want to call it a defensive struggle. It was just defensive awesomeness from the Silver Bullets. Way to go, Buckeyes. Buckeyes win 14-7. Scotty, how you doing this morning?
I couldn't be better, Dave. I really couldn't be much better because yesterday was absolutely awesome. All around awesome. Betting wins to talk about. Buckeye football greatness to talk about. And I want to start out actually the show, though. You and I were both down there really early in the morning yesterday. We got there in the 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock hour out on campus. And the buzz on campus yesterday was unlike any that I've ever seen before. And I've been going out there for 15 years, working here at the Fan, running the tailgate shows and doing all kinds of different promotions and stuff on game days. And I have never, ever seen it as crazy, as packed as it was, as early as it was. And I've been out there for a bunch of big time games, OSU Michigan games, OSU Notre Dame games, just thinking about it. Like, I have never seen the campus light up like it did yesterday. And it was so cool. Everything was just perfect. And the weather was great. You had the perfect matchup. What a way to start a year. So the campus was just so fun to be on yesterday.
Maybe other than 1 versus 2 Ohio State, which is in 06, the previous year against Texas, that's what it reminded me of. But yesterday was like that on steroids. Yeah. It totally reminded me of 20 years ago. And here's another difference. That game was a night game. So people were tailgating early, but it was like, it was definitely more extended. You're right. It was like people were down there. I mean, it was getting crowded at 7 a.m., like you said. And then by 8 a.m., you're right, it was insane. And just the vibes, the energy. You're right. That's definitely the best energy I've seen before an Ohio State game. It beats 05 Texas, which is ironic that, they're having a home and home exactly 20 years later. 06, obviously that 1 versus 2 Ohio State or Michigan game, but that was another one that started at 3:30. So all the tailgating is a little more spread out. People are getting there at different times. Everybody was getting there at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. at the latest.
And Dave, after seeing the buzz that there was the entire offseason for this week 1 game, and after seeing this game and how it played out, I hope going forward, Ohio State and other big time schools look at this and say, hey, let's do more of these blockbuster week 1 games, because gosh, it's Labor Day weekend, right? So it is the perfect weekend to do it. You got all eyeballs on college football this weekend. I love really, really building up this week 1 and the hype. It's been months now. We've been talking about the Texas versus Ohio State matchup, but the hype, the excitement, the feel on campus, the weather, it was just everything was awesome yesterday.
Now, Scotty, if I would have told you yesterday before the game, okay, listen, I was able to look at Biff's almanac, but I only saw one thing. It says Ohio State total yards for the game, 215. Ohio State 215. You're like, wait a minute, is that passing yards? No, total yards for the entire game, 215. What was your confidence level have been that Ohio State would win the game.
You mean between 1 and 1,000? Maybe a 1, maybe a 0. Because
Minus
that's crazy.
3. It's just insane to me. It's insane. And but listen, and I do think obviously they knew early on. Oh, especially after that, because Texas had a few first downs on their first drive. They looked okay, although their first down, they had to, go for it on fourth down. But I think very early Ohio State realized, okay, they can't do anything on our defense. We're just killing them at the line of scrimmage. Our linebackers are killing them. Caleb Downs is killing them. They knew early on that they couldn't do anything. And I think that also, this is a little spin doctoring because I think Ohio State's offense has a long way to go, and we're going to talk about that. But Ohio State's offense was conservative early. I think they would have opened it up a little bit if they needed to. They didn't feel like they needed to, and they almost needed to because it was 14-0, but then Texas, made it 14-7. Then they got the ball back, and then, of course, the Buckeyes made another stop. But I could not be more impressed with Matt Patricia and this defense. They did not give up a point till 4 minutes left in the game. They didn't give up a play over 15 yards until very late in the game. It was just an absolute suffocating performance. Hats off to Matt Patricia and this defense. And yeah, Ohio State, 215 total yards, and they still win this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking. I pulled up all the stats, too, and it's just crazy, right? You look at it, 215 yards, 126 passing yards, 89 rushing yards, and only getting 2.9 yards per run. It's crazy. Looking at those stats, you're like, okay, they didn't win this game. But you're right. The defense was unbelievable. Now, let me throw a couple more stats out at you and show you how great this defense was. So going into the fourth quarter, now Texas had to, obviously they were down. They got down a couple touchdowns, had to throw the ball a lot in the fourth quarter, and did so relatively successfully in the fourth quarter. But going into the fourth quarter, Arch Manning, your Heisman Trophy favorite coming into this game, into this season, was 9 of 15 for 38 yards through 3 quarters.
With an interception.
With a pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, like you talked about this with Matt Patricia and how he won the day, right? And we'll get more into that next hour when we give out awards for our categories segment that we're starting. But like the defenses, everybody leading up to this game, you're listening to people talk about, well, the Buckeyes lose 2 great coordinators in Chip Kelly and Jim Knowles. And what Matt Patricia did, there were a lot of doubters about Patricia, especially at the national level. What he put together yesterday was just unbelievably good.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Sark, I'm curious to get your take on this. It's easy to be like, Sark's overrated as a play caller. I think overall Sark's a very, very good play caller. But like inside the 10, against Ohio State especially, now, it's hard playing against Ohio State's defense. It was hard playing against it last year. It's going to be, as we know, it's going to be really hard to play against them again. So a lot of the credit goes to Ohio State's defense. But man, Sark inside the 10 against Ohio State, I love it. If you're a Texas fan, you must be like beside yourself, though. 2 straight games, he's like getting his team stuffed in the at the goal line, at the 5. I mean, Ohio State, I think they had, I don't think. Ohio State stopped them on fourth down 4 times. That's basically like 5 turnovers in the game. You have the interception and then 4 stops on fourth down. Hats off.
And we're talking about the goal line stand there in the third quarter. I think it was about midway through the third quarter that would have made the game 7-7, right? And so you get that goal line stand, which was unbelievable. It was funny because it was like there was no chance that was going to work.
No.
And generally, I'm a guy, and I feel like you are too, where if you're down within the 1 yard line, we almost always say sneak. Right? Like it's the most successful play. It almost always works. And they try and do that little sneaky tush push, and it was just completely blown up.
Katie McDonald had no time for that.
No.
I mean, and they had a bunch of guys that played well. I mean, Arvell Reese.
All over the board, yeah.
My gosh, he's so physical, and Sonny Styles was laying people out. Caleb Downs, they're using him all over the field as they should. Could not be more impressed with Matt Patricia. I think we should probably talk more about this Ohio State-Texas game. What do you think, Scott?
I'm up for it.
All right, let's do it next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Now at
At Great Lakes Hyundai of Dublin, lease 2 Elantras for $200. That's right, lease 2 new 2025 Elantra SEs for just $200 a month for 24 months. Both your new Elantras come with complimentary Hyundai maintenance, with free oil changes and tire rotations for your entire lease. GLakesHyundai of Dublin.com. With approved credit, $39.99 down per unit plus taxes, fees, first month payment, 10K miles per year. In time due.
Get Eco.
ECO. Aaron, what's your favorite holiday?
Labor Day.
No, really. What's your favorite holiday?
Labor Day?
Get Eco.
ECO.
Labor Day is when we celebrate the working people of America.
Like plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians?
Sure, but we're also celebrating nurses, police officers, office workers, firefighters, school teachers, landscapers, and those people who faithfully pick up our garbage on trash day.
And waiters and waitresses?
And car mechanics and...
Get Eco.
ECO. And daycare workers. We can't leave out daycare workers. Hooray for Labor Day!
Jerry, when you look at working people, what do you see?
I see the people who built America.
I see love.
Love?
Love with its sleeves rolled up.
Wow. Working people are the people who take care of everybody.
Labor Day is when we celebrate the working people who built America and keep it strong.
Happy Labor Day, everyone.
Get Eco at GetEco.com.
Is there anything better than a college football Saturday? Not if you're at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Join the fan for watch parties for the games this season. Oh, you got to check out the display case of amazing autographed prizes you can win. It's beautiful. 2 massive TV walls to watch the national champs. Watch and place wagers with over 30 kiosks, contests, prizes, and live shows. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
My name is Andre Roberts, and I'm a defender for the Ohio State men's soccer team. When I was in 7th grade, I fractured my kneecap. That was my first experience with Orthopedic One. My physician came in the room and delivered the diagnosis, and with the confidence that he had, it reassured me that I would be okay. And they definitely did a good job of knowing as a soccer player when I needed confidence, when I needed to be pushed, and they got me right back to where I was before my injury. Orthopedic One understood what it means to be a soccer player.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Let me ask you something. Is your money doing everything it can for you?
I don't know. How would I know?
Is it automatically saving for special events and keeping you posted on its profits? Like at Huntington Bank?
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
On the money this morning. Here we go.
At first, I thought I'd maybe turn, because you looked over here. I was like, did I turn your level down?
I know. I was like, what's going on?
He immediately assumed it was my fault. Did
Can't
you
hear myself. I always blame you when things go wrong, Dave.
That's actually not true.
All right. Here is the updated national championship odds after Ohio State taking down Texas yesterday. So Ohio State and Penn State are now your co-favorites in the ESPN Bet app to win it all at 6-1. You got Georgia plus 750. They looked good in their dominating win over Marshall yesterday. You have Texas, who now has a loss. Yes, sir.
Yes, they do.
Plus 750 to win it all. LSU, the big winners last night over Clemson. They're 9-1. So those are your 5 teams that have single-digit odds to win it all. Then you have Notre Dame 12-1, Clemson 13-1, Alabama and Oregon both 14-1. I don't know how Alabama at 14-1. I don't think anybody's taking that number this morning after watching them lose to Florida State yesterday. Heisman Trophy odds. One of my favorite texts that I got and pictures that was sent to me yesterday was kind of a picture of Arch Manning and his Heisman campaign ending. He was the preseason favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. He was 6-1 going into the season. His Heisman odds now today, the day after losing to Ohio State, you find him at 18-1, which is 7th best odds to win the Heisman Trophy. So Nussmeier, LSU quarterback, plus 650 is the favorite. And looking at Jeremiah Smith, he is tied for the 4th favorite at 16-1 to win the Heisman Trophy. All right, let's get back into the game from yesterday. Low scoring game, 14-7. I think both you and I were both kind of on the under for the game, but we didn't expect it to be quite as low scoring as that was. I kind of want to get your thoughts because I'm taking notes throughout the game and I keep writing down in my notes, back seven, the secondary, these linebackers, like just incredible performance all around. There just was no separation between the Texas wide receivers and the Ohio State defensive backs. And then the other thing for me was the defensive line, which everybody had a lot of questions about as far as the depth. I thought they held their own as well. Your thoughts overall on the defense, and it's impossible not to give them an A for the day.
Yeah, I couldn't be more impressed with what we saw from Matt Patricia and this defense. Only 3 returning starters, but we said, like, okay, only 3 returning stars. One of them, though, is Caleb Downs, the other Sonny Styles, and then IGB. So pretty good 3 returning starters. But then you had a host of guys that played big roles last year that were technically backups, like Jermaine Matthews, for example, who had the interception yesterday. Guys like Caden McDonald were a huge reason why Ohio State was such a good goal line defense last year. And looks like they're going to be a heck of a goal line defense again this year. So those guys were backups last year. Edric Houston, Kenyatta Jackson, who thankfully his injury's not serious. They had a bunch of Arvell Reese, a bunch of guys who played on the national championship team but weren't starters. So it was a little misleading for national pundits who looked at, Ohio State, they're losing 14 draft picks, only 3 returning starters on defense, new defensive coordinator. But I think you and I were saying, okay, sleep on little old Ohio State. And I'm so glad that there was all the disrespect leading up to the game. Ohio State used that to their advantage. I want to kick it to, so I couldn't be more impressed with the defense. I want to kick it to the offensive side of the ball. I would have lost a lot of money, Scott, that C.J. Donaldson was the starting running back and not James Peoples.
Yep.
I knew Donaldson was going to play a huge role in this team. He brings a veteran presence to an otherwise very green room, but he's a senior. Everybody else is a sophomore or a freshman. And they have 3 true freshmen in that running back room out of their 6 scholarship running backs. And so I knew Donaldson was going to play a lot, but man, I thought Peoples was going to be the starter. And then Donaldson went out there, he was the starter. And you think, okay, well, maybe it's going to be, just like last year, they're going to split because Peoples is in there to the next drive. It's one game. It's not just that Donaldson started. He looks better than Peoples. And I did not expect that. And I'm going to get your thoughts on that, but I also want to say this about Julian Sayin. The stats don't look great, but he didn't make any big mistakes. And the stats were skewed because there was multiple drops. Jeremiah had 2 drops. Max Clare had a drop on 4th down. It's like, what's going on here? I will say this about Julian. The biggest thing that I loved, it never at any point looked like the moment was too big for him. He looked cool as a cucumber. He looked Cali cool out there. And that's so huge for a redshirt freshman in that environment. I feel good about Julian Sayin.
Boy, you said it absolutely right, because Julian Sayin talked about how his last start was in front of 8,000 people. And his next start was in front of 100,000 plus. And, oh, by the way, playing against the number 1 team in the country. And one of the stats of all stats from yesterday, in the last 20 years, when a quarterback is making his first start against a number 1 team, that quarterback is 0-18. Except now it's 1-18 because Julian Sayin gets it done. And I'm so glad you mentioned that as far as his stats, because you're right. They don't look terrific. However, those drops early, it was unbelievable. The Max Clare had the ball right in his hands. It was a perfectly thrown ball on the sideline on 4th down. That was right perfectly in his hands. And then Jeremiah Smith, 2 drops before switching out those gloves, and then all was right after that. All right, what a win. A lot of fun. We're going to get into Buckeye football throughout the entire 2 hours here on The Money. We are going to shift gears a little bit because there was a lot of very interesting college football games yesterday, including a huge one last night between 2 title contenders, LSU and Clemson. We're going to dive into that next. This is On the Money.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Proper tree care is an investment that can lead to increased personal enjoyment. Prevent winter tree damage by scheduling winter tree work now. Winter can be tough on trees. Heavy snow, ice, and wind can cause serious damage. Don't wait until it's too late. Now is the perfect time to schedule winter tree work. Pruning during the dormant season keeps your trees healthy and helps prevent costly storm damage. Visit trees4ohio.org to find a qualified arborist near you. That's trees4ohio.org. Let's keep your trees strong all winter long.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, you might not be big on technology, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Maybe you've gone through a divorce or a bad breakup or a relative moved out. It's been hard, and you just want to take what you want and leave the rest behind. I will help you. Retiring and want to sell your commercial properties or land. I will help you. Sellers, whether you're selling as is or selling for top dollar, you're no longer alone. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value, and they have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and obtain superior ongoing education and training. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you are being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casinos On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
Welcome back to On the Money. Dave Biddle, Scotty Vegas, Adam Latek at the controls. All right, so we're going to talk a lot more Ohio State football throughout the show, like Scotty said, but let's switch gears and just talk college football in general. Obviously a huge day. They're calling it, and we can all be prisoners of the moment in sports and life in general, but like, you crunch the numbers, it really was like the best week one. And it's still going on in college football history. Like there's like all kinds of, because people are saying this is the best week one in college football history. And then people actually like broke it down. Like it truly is. It truly is one game that I think a lot of people, you know, after Ohio State beat Texas was looking forward to. Is certainly LSU at Clemson, Death Valley versus Death Valley. Clemson got it at their Death Valley. Clemson, you look like the Phil Steele, you know, player rankings, you could argue that they, according to Phil Steele, was the most talented team in the nation. He had them right there with Penn State. There are some metrics out of Ohio State as the most talented team in the nation, but he felt, you know, Clemson was. And you look at it, I was like, yeah, man, they got a ton of guys back. They were better than people thought last year. They've got a senior quarterback who's back, who was pretty good last year. He brought in Tom Allen as defensive coordinator. He's got Lincoln Riley's brother as offensive coordinator, who looked pretty good at the end of last year. Man, Clemson was like one of those dark horse teams people were talking about to win the national championship, and a lot of people were writing off LSU. LSU got down early, and then they dominated from there. But they got, at one point, Scott, I mean, LSU was, you were getting 9.5 points. Clemson was favored by 9.5 points like in the second quarter before they missed the field goal. They missed that field goal, never recovered. LSU wins that game 17-10. So great for LSU. Clemson's in big trouble unless they win the ACC.
Yeah, big time. Now, I will tell you this, and I know that a lot of people will now jump off Clemson, but I was kind of saying this leading up to the season, that if you really wanted to take Clemson to win the national championship as far as their betting odds, wait till after the LSU game. Because, again, they play in the ACC, which maybe the ACC is a little bit better. Maybe Florida State is actually decent. We'll get into Florida State, Alabama in a minute. But we knew that Clemson LSU game was going to be a tough one. And so the value was really more after seeing Clemson play LSU, because if Clemson had beat LSU, their odds would have ticked up a little bit. But after losing now, Clemson falls to 13-1. And we know with this 12-team playoff, the ACC champ is absolutely getting in. We think probably even if Clemson were to lose another game and finish 10-2, Clemson would be a playoff team. So you can't completely eliminate Clemson after watching last night's game. They've had bad openers before, kind of recovered. So I don't want to completely jump off of Clemson. In fact, I think if you still are interested in betting a national champ, I don't think they're a terrible value now at 13-1. One team that I think is terrible value is Alabama.
Yes.
Because after watching them, and I did a huge parlay yesterday where I was just putting a bunch of money line favorites in, and believe it or not, it was a 20-way parlay. 19 of the 21, the one loss was I had Alabama beating Florida State.
Just on the money line, right?
Which, yeah, just on the money line.
I would have bet a lot on that too.
Yeah, which Alabama lost to a team that went 2-10 yesterday, but also looked terrible doing it. Like the score, like they were not in that game late. Like it wasn't even like, okay, Alabama has a chance late in the game to win. No, Florida State kind of dominated that game, and the Alabama offense was awful. So looking at Alabama, that's a team that you and I were looking through their schedule. Like it's hard to see 8 wins on that team. Like at this point, so Kalen DeBoer in Alabama, like 8-4 would probably be a good year for them at this point, looking at that schedule.
I won't go through every team they play the rest of the way, but in a few weeks at Georgia, a couple weeks after that at Mizzou, the very next week, Tennessee, who looks good, in Tuscaloosa. Next week at South Carolina, that'll be tough. 2 weeks after that, LSU. The very next week, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
2 weeks after that, at Auburn.
Oh, jeez.
Good luck getting to 9-3, and you're going to have to get to that. And 9-3, Alabama would probably sneak in, but I don't think they're going to be 9-3. And here's the thing. What's the old sports phrase that everybody uses with coaches? You don't want to be the coach that follows the legend.
Yeah.
Right now, Ryan Day's proven that. Do you consider Urban Meyer a legend? Urban legend? I do.
I do too.
I do.
Yeah.
But okay, so there are exceptions to that rule. What you don't want to be for sure, you don't want to be the coach to follow the greatest of all time. You don't want to be the coach to follow the GOAT. Okay, because typically they might give you a few years. Now, he does have a $70 million buyout, Kalen DeBoer I'm talking about. But, dude, what are you thinking? You would have been a king at Washington. You were only there 2 years. You took them to the national championship game. You had no ties to the SEC. No ties. And you're going to go to Alabama to follow the GOAT? Man, I don't know if they missed the play. And I know it's a $70 million buyout, but we've seen Texas A&M pay Jimbo more than that to buy him out. If they miss the playoffs, they go 8-4, coming off the Saban era. They already were calling for his head last year, Feinbaum and some of the yokels down there. Like, I'm telling you, man, if they go 8-4 and miss the playoff again, I bet you they're going to buy him out.
I actually have an unbelievable Alabama stat that I want to give you. So Nick Saban, in his time at Alabama, when Alabama was a double-digit favorite, Alabama was 136-3. 136-3 as a double-digit favorite. That's pretty solid. By the way, Kalen DeBoer, now just starting year 2, has 4 losses as a double-digit favorite. In the game 1 of year 2 of Kalen DeBoer, 4 losses as a double-digit favorite, Dave. That's crazy.
In 14 games. He's done it 4 times.
Wow.
And in about 150 games almost, Nick Saban did it 3 times.
Yeah.
And he won 6 national championships. What are you thinking? Should have just stayed at Washington, man. Should have just stayed. That wasn't like you were poor. You were still getting what? I'm sure they would have given at least $10 million with the Big Ten money. And Oregon and Washington are still getting half the money for now. Then they'll be fully vested. But still, some of these coaches that jump to jobs, it's like he should have just stayed at Washington. All right, let's talk some more college football next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Let me ask you something. Is your money doing everything it can for you?
I don't know. How would I know?
Is it automatically saving for special events and keeping you posted on its progress, like at Huntington Bank?
Oh, no.
Is it tracking your spending so you can make the best choices at the mall?
Nope.
Or setting limits on your teenager's debit card?
Definitely not.
Then it could certainly be doing more.
Yeah, sure sounds like it.
Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
On Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app. New customers opt in and get a free lottery ticket. Download the app and start ordering lottery tickets today. Use code VOCAL. That's code VOCAL on Jackpocket. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 or older. Jackpocket is a lottery courier and not affiliated with the Ohio Lottery. Opt in for $5 in non-withdrawable lottery credits that expire in 168 hours. Terms at jkpt.co/draw5.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, loads and no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Burnt out, foggy, running on caffeine and willpower? It's time for a reset. Hydrate Me Med Spa brings next level wellness to Central Ohio with medical grade IV drips, NAD Plus for brain and energy support, and ozone therapy to detox at the cellular level. This isn't just self-care, it's a system upgrade. Feel sharper, sleep deeper, perform better. Now open in Dublin, Grandview, New Albany, and Granville. Book your drip at hydratememedspa.com.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $404 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because we know in making the most of your home, DIY doesn't just stand for do it yourself. It also means dream it yourself. And we're here to help protect the dreams you're building. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
What a day it was yesterday. So much fun. Tell you what, I got down on campus at 6 a.m., saw my good buddy Dave Biddle. You were out there, and we just had a blast. Like, it was one of those perfect days on campus, and the weather was great. The game was great. So much fun. I'll give credit to, I actually really liked the Scarlet Owl as far as watching it from a TV perspective. I thought that looked really cool. And some of the things that Ohio State incorporated, I did like for this coming year. And the other thing that I want to talk about too is all the betting action that was coming in on Texas leading into the game. We saw that the betting spread throughout the summer was Ohio State -3. Basically, at kick, it got down to basically a pick 'em. All right. And so there was significant money coming in on Texas. I actually ended up watching the game over at Hollywood Casino, which I usually do, and throw a watch party there. There was a bet. There was a $40,000 money line bet on Texas placed yesterday. It was the biggest bet on the game. And it was $40,000 on Texas that came in.
Good amount of Texas fans at the casino?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
But there were a couple of big Texas bettors at the casino.
Yeah, apparently.
But they didn't really stick around with all the Buckeye folks to watch the game.
I figure if you come up to Columbus from Austin or wherever you're from, you're probably going to the game. But leaving the casino Friday, I went there just real quick Friday, and when I was leaving early Friday afternoon, I saw like a group of Texas fans coming in, decked out. So again, this is like they probably just got into town, and I said, "Hey guys, welcome to town. Good luck tomorrow." And I said, Not too much luck, though. And they laughed at it. So, because I know Texas fans had a rough time 20 years ago coming to town. So I was hoping this is how it would work out. It sounds like it did. We know the first part worked out. I went on Ohio State to win this time. I also wanted Texas fans to feel like that they were welcome in our town, because they welcomed Ohio State fans, I thought, pretty well in 06, despite how they were treated in 05. Remember Karen Holberg had to have like a formal apology and all of that because of the way the fans were acting. People were ticked off about losing that game, and it was a night game. But yeah, man, there was a decent amount of Texas fans at the casino, and then I saw a huge group walking in when I was leaving. So I was wondering if there was any at the casino yesterday. But that makes sense. Why would you come up to Columbus from Austin to then just watch the game at the casino?
Well, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But there were a lot of people, too. We were out on Friday afternoon. We did a lot of the fan shows out at the on Lane. And there were a lot of Texas fans walking around, driving around on campus as well. And look, you and I were out there early on Saturday. I saw a good handful of Texas fans.
For sure.
And it did seem like, and gosh, I went all around campus, a lot of different spots. And it did seem like it was pretty nice between the two fan bases, and a lot of respect. Look, they're almost like your twin a little bit in a lot of ways.
Right down to the city.
Yeah, exactly.
Capital City. I mean, yeah, you do have we have the Blue Jackets and we have MLS. They just have MLS as far as a pro sports team, but it's like the capital city. It's college town. It's a growing town. Austin's one of the fastest growing cities in America. So is Columbus. So yeah, you're right. They are. It is kind of like they're your sister school. Yeah.
We always talk about teams that we love seeing home and home matchups with. You have the Alabama one that's coming up soon, and that'll be really cool. But I'd love to see Texas on the schedule relatively often. Not just because, OSU beat them the last two times here that they've played, but just I think it would be a fun matchup to do home and homes. Maybe once a decade do a home and home with them. That'd be a lot of fun. All right, let's get more into some of the Big Ten games that we saw yesterday. A lot of people wanted to talk about the Michigan game. And look, Michigan went into that game a 34.5-point favorite. They end up putting 34 total points on the board, win it 34-17. I know the story is about the quarterback. What were your initial thoughts on Michigan last night against New Mexico?
It's interesting. I'll start with this because it's the same thing I said about Julian Sand. I was curious when I watched Bryce Underwood. Now, he's playing against New Mexico at home. He's not playing against the number one team in the nation. Now, Julian was at home, too, and Julian's a redshirt freshman, not a true freshman. I was like, is it going to look like he's a true freshman out there and he gets rattled easy? He doesn't. He looked pretty calm. So I think if you're a Michigan fan, that's very good news for you. He didn't carry himself like a true freshman. They got a good one there for sure. Do I think he's going to light the world on fire this year? No. And we'll find out next week a lot about Michigan, because I think Oklahoma is underrated. They got a really good quarterback, and I think that's going to be a really tough game. But so I took away from the fact that, Bryce Underwood, he's not some guy that was like, oh, man, how is he the number one quarterback in the country? No, he looks good, and he looks mature. But I got my Phil Steele right here. Phil Steele picked New Mexico dead last in their conference in the Mountain West. Dead last. Michigan is favored by 34.5, like you said, and they won by 17. So a little bit of a shaky performance from Michigan, but again, I'm sure they weren't too fired up to play New Mexico. We're going to find out a lot about them next week, like I said. But again, man, if you're favored by 34.5 and you win by 17, that's not impressive, obviously.
You hit it exactly when you said we'll find out a lot more this coming week, because Michigan is a 3-point underdog against Oklahoma this coming week. The other team that we need to talk about real quick, Big Ten, is Penn State. Because a lot of people, and including me, I have a bet on Penn State to win it all this year. Penn State won 46-11 to Nevada. Again, you don't learn a ton about it. However, Penn State was just absolutely dominant in the game, which they were expected to be. They were a 42.5-point favorite. They end up winning the game by 35. However, that was a game where Nevada scored late to prevent Penn State from covering. So Penn State looked good. I thought for me, my biggest bet of the day, we talked about this during the tailgate show. My biggest bet of the day was actually Purdue Ball State. And I thought Barry Odom would come in and have Purdue motivated.
You nailed that one.
They absolutely dominated Ball State, so that one came through. However, the biggest embarrassment for the Big Ten was both Northwestern and UCLA. Northwestern loses 23-3 to Tulane, and UCLA last night loses 43-10 to Utah. Utah, I think, is very good.
And Northwestern got called out by the Tulane head coach for not being able to switch uniforms. And Northwestern's like, well, they asked us at the last minute. I don't think 13 days ahead of time is the last minute.
Yeah.
I think probably what it was Northwestern didn't want to wear their black jerseys because they're playing outdoors in Louisiana in August. That's just say that. Don't be like, oh, you didn't give us enough time to. You have home uniforms you could have worn if you wanted to.
That was weak.
Yes.
That was weak.
This comes out like, what, a week after? They have so much egg on their face. Self-inflicted. I know we got to take a break. The Pat Fitzgerald thing is a terrible look for Northwestern. They completely overreacted 2 years ago. Then he sues them for $150 million. They settle the lawsuit. I bet he got around $7. I bet he got half that. They had to pay him probably $75 million, and you're talking about a coach that is a legendary coach there and a legendary player, and that's how you treat him.
Yeah,
and there's no proof. Look. There's no proof he knew. Okay, I know we got to take a break.
Here,
go ahead.
Yeah, just real quick too on that Utah UCLA. Utah looked fantastic. I agree with Mark, who's commenting on YouTube, that Utah is a sneaky team this year and a team they'll be betting going forward. All right, next we're going to look. There's some good games today. A lot of action. I got action on them. We got action on the games today, and we're going to tell you which way to bet. That's next on The Money.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Taking out the trash. Hey, Columbus, this is Zach Bourne.
And Jacoby Bourne.
When it comes to waste service, you want a team that knows how to deliver under pressure, just like Saturdays in the fall.
At Bourne Brothers Waste Services, our team is built on toughness, teamwork, and consistent execution.
We're the most reliable and customer service-focused waste company in Central Ohio.
Whether it is recycling, trash, construction waste, roll-off containers, front loads, or compactors, we have it handled.
Call now or visit BourneBrothers.com and let us tackle your waste needs.
Taking out the trash.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu, fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
For a limited time, you can enjoy a savory sausage McMuffin with egg meal, including golden hash browns and a small hot coffee for just $5. Price and participation may vary.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life. There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
He's at the 10, the 5, touchdown. This is what the Buckeyes train so hard for.
Just like Valvoline Instant Oil Change, their techs train like pros to deliver expert service every time.
Wait, are we talking football or oil changes?
Both. Whether it's the Buckeyes on the field or your car in the bay, it's all about preparation and precision.
Can't argue with that.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit VIOC.com/Buckeyes today.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
All right. We get more college football today.
Love it.
And tomorrow.
Let's go.
And you and I need Labor Day to not, have to labor so much. We've been getting up way too early in the mornings. I am sleep deprived. But I tell you what, man, we can sleep in May.
Yeah, that's
Ohio
right.
State football's here and college football's here, and the NFL is going to kick off this coming week. Let's look at some of the games. There's just 2 games today. I want to start with the nightcap. Notre Dame at Miami. Notre Dame is favored by 2.5, and I do think we're headed for a good game. I like Miami in this one on the money line. Okay, now I'm not a big Carson Beck guy, but he's very experienced, as we know. Now he, in theory is fully healthy. Whereas CJ Carr, I think, he's going to be a very good quarterback at Notre Dame. I kind of need to see it first as a redshirt freshman. And apparently their QB battle was relatively close. It wasn't like CJ Carr came in there and set the world on fire. And Notre Dame coming off, a year where they got to the national championship game, obviously. I know Miami's losing Cam Ward, but at least they replaced him with a veteran quarterback. Miami's playing at home. That's another thing. I don't think people were talking about that enough about the Ohio State game. National pundits would talk about the game, not even mention it was at Ohio Stadium. I'm like, that's going to be a factor. And again, Miami's home field is not like Ohio State's home field, but still, I think that will be a factor. I like Miami to cover despite the fact they're underdogs.
So I don't have a play on the side of this game. To me, I think it could go either way. I do have a really strong play on the under, though. Little bit of weather issues down there in Miami. We're seeing a good chance of
hurricane
rain
conditions. Sorry. I'll show myself out.
We'll see probably some rain throughout the game. We know Notre Dame's running backs are very good.
Yes.
We know that the quarterback play at Notre Dame is the big question mark. We know that Miami and Carson Beck. I like their defense, but I don't know if I trust Miami to score a ton of points in this game. I really like the under, Dave. I really like the under.
I like that too. And exactly what is it? Let me look this up.
Right now, I can tell you it's 50.5.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot too, Scott.
My play today is to go under in this, but I am moving it up a little bit. I'm moving it up to 56.5. And I'm also playing the afternoon game, which is Virginia Tech and South Carolina. Right now, Virginia Tech is a 7.5-point dog against South Carolina. I actually like taking the points. I'm going to move that line from 7.5 to 10.5. Give myself a little extra room, but so my play for today is Virginia Tech plus 10.5 and Miami and Notre Dame under 56.5. Parlay those two together. That's what I love. And you and I have been on fire. We've been cashing tickets lately. You went into the casino. You had a lot of cash handed to you. I won several $1,000s yesterday on the Buckeye win, combined with other things. But we are on fire. That's our plays for today. Under, and for me, plus the points with Virginia Tech.
I absolutely love it. I think the under for Miami and Notre Dame is a great bet. Nothing is a lock in betting, but I really like that one a lot because Miami, as you said, Scotty, they have a really good defense.
Yep.
8 returning starters, and they brought in some good guys from the portal. Their defensive line especially is tough. So if Notre Dame is going to go in there and say, well, and Notre Dame always has a good offensive line, you're right, they got 2 good running backs, and they'll be able to run the ball, but Miami, that's their strength, their D-line. They've got a couple of big D tackles. They've got good defensive ends. They're veteran. I think that this game will be muddied up. I don't see Carson Beck going out there and lighting the world on fire against this Notre Dame defense. I know they're breaking in a new defensive coordinator, but last I checked, Marcus Freeman is still their head coach and is a defensive-minded guy. So, I expect a fun game tonight, but I think Miami will win, and I might just do the Miami win and the under.
Okay, and here's the deal on as far as these games that we've noticed so far, these big games. Defense is a little bit ahead of offense in general very early in the season, and that's another reason why I like taking the unders, and especially in week 1.
Unless you're Rutgers, you're trying to stop Parker Navarro. I know OU lost, but man, that was a good game. That was a good.
Cash your ticket.
Yeah, it was one of mine on my parlay that I had. OU was a 16-point underdog and only lost. How about the Bobcats? Real quick, at Rutgers, hosting West Virginia at Ohio State. Not your typical MAC schedule. Hey, when you win the MAC championship, you got to flex your muscle a little bit. All right, speaking of flexing our muscles, we're going to talk about the betting throughout the Ohio State game. Some of the interesting things that were happening throughout yesterday's Ohio State-Texas game. That's up next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Do you have foot pain? Foot pain is not normal regardless of your age or job. Podiatric physicians are the most qualified doctors to care for your feet and can provide important foot care solutions or shoe inserts to better manage foot pain. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. We've been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value, and they have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and obtain superior ongoing education and training. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you are being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Welcome back to On the Money, sponsored by Hollywood Casino. Speaking of which, it's going to be a watch party for every Ohio State game at the Sportsbook, ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino. Scotty was there yesterday. Man, that the vibe, I'm sure, was just excellent because it couldn't have been better on campus. As you and I were saying to kick off the show, like we've never seen it like that. It reminded me a little bit of 20 years ago, Ohio State, Texas, but nothing like yesterday because it was so condensed. Everybody was getting there early. The game was at noon. 20 years ago, the game was prime time, so people were getting there early and then, tailgating for like 8 hours or 10 hours. Yesterday was just crazy. And then you had Lee Corso and everything right there. And we were right by the ESPN game day set. I do not remember an Ohio State game with that much buzz, especially for a noon game. So I'm glad you guys had fun at the casino. Now I'm curious, some of the interesting betting situations that arose during the game.
Yeah, so this was very interesting. Leading up, I talked to you about how it seemed like every national betting expert was on Texas leading into that game. And the big reason that a lot of them came up with was the coordinators, right? Ohio State is replacing two great coordinators, and that was kind of part of the reason. And then the other thing was, okay, there's a little more experience with Arch Manning versus Julian Sayin. So that was kind of the national betting perspective perspective, I will tell you a couple of things. One, there was a $40,000 bet on Texas at Hollywood Casino. That was the biggest bet placed. One betting sports manager said there was and this is a national, this isn't just locally here in Columbus, there was so much one-way traffic on Texas. At one point, they had 2 times the Texas tickets to Ohio State, so 2-1 on as far as tickets, and then 5-1 as far as money on Texas over Ohio State. So you know who won out was the sports books.
Oh yeah,
because Ohio State obviously
they
wins.
always win. It's just to what degree. They had a really good day yesterday.
The other thing that I find very interesting, betting perspective wise, is the 3 most bet on teams yesterday in college football. Number 1 was Texas +1. Okay, this is across the country, across the United States, was Texas +1. Number 2 was Alabama -14. They were the second most bet on team. You know what number 3 is? It's actually tonight's game. Notre Dame -3 against Miami. That's the third most.
The public's going Notre Dame.
The public's going Notre Dame.
The public's about to go 0 for 3.
And
is
the
what
public
you're
is
telling me?
0-2 right now.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean Notre Dame could easily win tonight. They're a well-coached, good football team. There's no doubt about it. Tough. I'm so impressed with how tough they were. I know the Buckeyes got that huge lead in the national championship game, but Texas, I mean, it was like 31-7, but Notre Dame fought back. Riley Leonard was tough as nails. I thought okay, now he's knocked out of the game. Now he's knocked out of the game. Now he's knocked out of the game. He just kept coming back. All right, first hour of the show is in the books. We're going to lead off the second hour by taking your calls. 614-821-9710. Give us a call about the Buckeyes. 614-821-9710. We're also going to do the parlay party and a few other things, but give us a call. 614-821-9710. This is On the Money.
On Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app. New customers opt in and get a free lottery ticket. Download the app and start ordering lottery tickets today. Use code VOCAL. That's code VOCAL on Jackpocket. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 or older. Jackpocket is a lottery courier and not affiliated with the Ohio Lottery. Opt in for $5 in non-withdrawable lottery credits that expire in 168 hours. Terms at jkpt.co/draw5.
Is there anything better than a college football Saturday? Not if you're at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Join the fan for watch parties for the games this season. Oh, you got to check out the display case of amazing autographed prizes you can win. It's beautiful. 2 massive TV walls to watch the national champs. Watch and place wagers with over 30 kiosks, contests, prizes, and live shows. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Does your vehicle need maintenance, but you don't have time? Krieger Ford's got you covered. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or we come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
My name is Andre Roberts, and I'm a defender for the Ohio State men's soccer team. When I was in 7th grade, I fractured my kneecap. That was my first experience with Orthopedic One. My physician came in the room and delivered the diagnosis, and with the confidence that he had, it reassured me that I would be okay. And they definitely did a good job of knowing as a soccer player when I needed confidence, when I needed to be pushed, and they got me right back to where I was before my injury. Orthopedic One understood what it means to be a soccer player.
Delaware County Veterans Services, here for those who served. Located on the ground floor of the historic courthouse in downtown Delaware, our team of veteran county veteran service officers is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Need a ride to a VA appointment, facing a financial emergency? Are you or your spouse simply looking for answers? Then give Delaware County Veterans Services a call. 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. Delaware County Veterans Services.
It's the Ford Labor Day lease event at Valley. All brand new 2025s. Mustang, EcoBoost, and Mach-E. Escape Active, Bronco Sport. Your pick, just $399 a month. F-150 STX, Explorer Active, Bronco Big Bend, and Mustang GT. Now, only $499 a month. Every Valley lease is for 36 months with 0 down and a 2-year premium maintenance plan included. Hurry, these deals end Monday at Valley Ford of Columbus in Hilliard. Open Labor Day 11 till 4.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
I'm Adam Latek. The Buckeyes are officially undefeated. The Bucks beat number 1 ranked Texas in a defensive showdown to kick off the season 14-7 yesterday. Julian Sain completed 13 out of 20 passes for the Bucks. Carnell Tate led the team with 24.5 rushing yards and a touchdown, while Arvell Reese picked up a sack on defense and Jermaine Matthews pulled down an interception. The Bucks take on Grambling next week at the Shoe. Elsewhere around college football, LSU beat Clemson 17-10. Penn State beat Nevada 46-11, and that team up north topped New Mexico 34-17. The Guardians beat the Mariners last night in Game 2 of the series with big potential playoff implications. Kyle Manzardo hit his 23rd homer of the year, and Gavin Williams turned in another terrific start for the Guards in the 4-3 victory. That series concludes this afternoon. The Reds were unable to pick up the win last night at home against the Cardinals. Matt McClain went yard and Gavin Lux contributed an RBI double, but the Reds lost 4-2. That series wrapped this afternoon at 12:10 with coverage right here on The Fan. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan.
Scotty's kids don't ask how his day was. They ask if all his bets won. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sports book of ESPN. What a play.
Welcome back to On the Money, 97.1 The Fan. I am Dave Biddle. I am joined by Scott Prokop. We, of course, like to call him Scotty Vegas. We have producer Adam Latek at the controls. We're going to be taking your calls in just a moment about the Buckeyes. 614-821-9710, 614-821-9710 after their big win over Texas yesterday. And right about now, it's time for the Parlay Party. Hit it, Adam. All right, gents, the Parlay Party is where we celebrate anything we want to celebrate. Could be a nice parlay that we hit. Could be anything at all. Scotty Vegas, what are you celebrating today, my friend?
What a great Sunday, Dave. First off, had so much fun yesterday at the casino for the watch party. Had a blast. If you haven't been out to Hollywood Casino, join us for one of these watch parties. We do it for every Buckeye game, and we have a blast out there. And guess what? I won a lot of money yesterday. There is nothing like winning a parlay with the last leg of your parlay being your team. So the Buckeyes win, and I ended up winning a big parlay yesterday, so I had a lot of fun with that. The other thing I'm celebrating is the fact that, like, Julian saying, like, there was all the talk about Arch Manning, Heisman favorite, all this stuff. Texas goes the first 56 minutes yesterday without scoring a point. And Julian saying just cool, calm, and collected throughout that game. In fact, crazy stat in the last 20 years, when a quarterback makes his first start against the number 1 team, he's 0-18. Not anymore, baby. 1-18 with what Julian's saying and the Buckeyes pulled off yesterday. So many Buckeye leaves to go around. Defense, Matt Patricia, Ryan Day. A lot of things to talk about, and we'll get into it in the next hour. Dave, what are you celebrating in the Parlay Party?
Yeah, the first thing I'll start off with, it's awesome being part of the Tailgate Show.
Yeah.
And doing that every week. That's going to be a lot of fun. We do it, we're 3.5 hours before every Ohio State game here on The Fan. And it's Anthony Rothman and Tim May, and I'm along for the ride somehow. So, have a lot of fun doing that. And yesterday was our first show of the season, so I'm glad to join the crew there. And then later in the day, very much celebrating Ohio State's defense and Matt Patricia. Love that. Hit a big 4-leg parlay on Thursday. Very MAC heavy. Bobcats covering. Miami Redhawks barely covering. Thank you, Luke. That was perfect. They were 17.5 point underdogs, and Wisconsin won 17-0. Good job. Luke gets a 17-point win, and I barely cover. I liked it. And the other two was Buffalo covering over Minnesota, and then Nebraska money line over Cincinnati. So I nailed a big 4-leg parlay. That was nice. And then the last thing, I'm not a huge movie guy. I like movies, but I'm not like a big movie buff by any means. But I'm a huge Tarantino fan. I love Quentin Tarantino. Love Tarantino. Pulp Fiction is my favorite movie of all time, but I like many of his movies. Somehow, even though I've seen Jackie Brown twice, I saw Kill Bill 1 and 2. I've seen all. For some reason, I had never seen Inglourious Bastards, and I wanted to. Finally saw it. It lives up to the hype. It's so darn good. And so, yeah, I'm celebrating. I finally got a chance to watch Inglourious Bastards.
You know, the day I saw Inglourious Bastards was the day Oasis broke up, just as a random aside. So
now they're back together, and I saw the movie.
Coming full circle, Dave. Thank you for that. First of all, I want to celebrate the listeners. We already have 3 calls in queue for the Taking Calls segment, which is beautiful. Big baseball fan here. I want to celebrate Stephen Kwan, Guardians left fielder, 3-time Gold Glove winner in his 3 full seasons in Major League Baseball. He made the catch of his career last night against his former teammate Josh Naylor. I think it's the catch of the year. Unbelievable. And then the other thing I'm celebrating is, you all know that I'm a huge music guy. I finally did a big deep dive this week into Lucinda Williams, one of the great American songwriters of all time. I've never really listened to her before, and it has been years since I've been this moved by a new to me artist. So that's a wonderful experience for me, and I am celebrating Lucinda Williams.
Yeah, and absolutely love that we got 3 calls on the line. So we're going to get into that throughout the segment. Again, the number is 614-821-9710. Let's go out to those phone lines right now. We got our guy, Cooper. Cooper, welcome to On the Money.
How's it going, guys?
It's great this Sunday morning. How about you, Cooper?
Oh, it's great. Happy Sunday to you guys. And I just got to say 2 takeaways I noticed from that game yesterday. Number 1 is just Matt Patricia, man, coming into Columbus and taking over that role that Jim Knowles ended up leaving to Penn State for. It was like those guys, it was just like the defense we had last year. I think even better. You hold the preseason number 1 team to 7 points at home, and going on to the second takeaway is that crowd getting us in it. The energy was there, and it was like no other. I've never seen that stadium get that loud, you know what I mean, at a noon game. I know a lot of people were frustrated that it wasn't a night game, but Buckeye fans showed up, and we got the win. That was most important.
It was such a great day all the way around. And man, I would have lost a lot of money betting on the weather. Especially I would have lost a lot of money that when I'd wake up and look at my phone, it was 48 degrees yesterday. I'm like, heck yeah. I set the over-under about a month ago. I'm like, for the high temperature during the game at 89.5. You took the over. I was going, just because you won the coin flip, I was going to take the over. So I've seen plenty of these games, these first games of the season for Ohio State, where it is in the 90s or at the very least upper 80s. We got so lucky with the weather. And yeah, the people that were doubting Matt Patricia, it was mostly national people. I think Ohio State fans overall were like, okay, especially coming off the national championship. How about we trust Ryan Day? I heard a lot of that. Even some people that might have been a little skeptical, but a lot of national people were kind of ripping the hire. How you like me now?
Yeah, that's so true. Dave, I'd probably listened to 8 different national betting podcasts in the last 2 weeks.
That sounds about right for you.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to win some money, and I did.
And you did.
So, but here's the deal. Like Matt Patricia was a guy who was really, really doubted nationally. And could he replace a guy like Jim Knowles? And what they did yesterday defensively was masterclass. Like, it was incredible. And the other thing that Cooper brought up about it being a noon game, and I will tell you this, the energy that was out there, I arrived on campus just after 6 a.m., and there was already energy on campus at 6 a.m. So in this case, the noon game actually worked out. Like, I really do believe that, because the weather was perfect and everything. It just was a perfect day on campus for a noon game.
Yes.
Now, generally, we love the night games, and it sounds like, unfortunately, Penn State is also going to be a noon game.
I'm actually usually okay with the noon games. This was one where I was saying it should be a night game,
Yeah.
and weather was one of my reasons, but you're right.
It worked out.
Maybe we shouldn't say it out loud. I don't want Fox thinking that, like, oh, yeah, see? Big
Yeah,
noon is the
take
way to go.
that.
It's like, and I'm sure the ratings are going to come out and they look how great the ratings were. Yeah, no doubt. I guarantee the ratings would have been even a tick better, maybe more than a tick if it was primetime, but whatever. It was awesome yesterday. It's also awesome hearing from our listeners. Let's head back out to the lines and hear from Greg. Welcome to the show, Greg. How you doing?
Good morning, guys. I'm crying the blues today. I did absolutely terrible on my wagers yesterday. But that aside, just got a couple things for you. I like this new category thing you're doing. If you have one for situational football, I would have graded them an A on the game, because they moved the chains when they had to while their stats weren't very good. They moved the chains and they stopped them when they had to. So I grade them an A on that. I don't know if you guys caught this or not, but the line on the game moved on Thursday to Ohio State plus 1.5, and I jumped on that.
Oh, nice.
But I added 3 to it, so I had it both ways. I had Texas from back in the winter at 4.5, and then Ohio State, so I was good with that game. But the story I heard was somebody dumped $550K on Texas, and that's what made it move up a little bit.
Yeah, there's a sports book where it caters to professional gamblers like Scotty. I'm kind of kidding there. I don't know, maybe I'm not kidding. And yeah, that was the sports book that the one that caters to professional gamblers that had a over $500,000 bet came in. We had somebody on Bucknuts last night making fun of the guy that made the over $500,000 bet. I'm like, okay, yeah. Probably though, that guy, that'd be like us betting $50.
Yeah,
probably. If you have that much money to spend on just a straight up Ohio State Texas game, you're probably swimming in money. So great call there from Greg. Let's head back out to the phone lines and hear from Jim, all the way from Fort Myers Beach, Florida. Welcome to the show, Jim.
Well, thank you, sir. Yeah, I come up for Buckeye games. I'm originally from the Dayton area. I got there yesterday to the stadium about a quarter till 8, and I couldn't believe the atmosphere. And I've been to some big games, and I've never seen such a massive humanity. I think Laurinaitis even said that he'd never seen so many people on the walkthrough before. And I just a couple observations. And I'm going to keep it nice and clean because I thought under the circumstances, Ryan. I still don't believe Hartline was calling the plays. It looked like a Ryan Day playbook to me. But in fairness to Ryan, with their field position and inside the 5, and Sane, and there just weren't a lot of chances to take. So anyway, it's so nice to see the energy and the side-to-side play by that defense, and Patricia just. I just want an ad. They're just going to be fun to watch this year, just exciting to watch. Last thing I've got is I told the Texas fans yesterday, I noticed 3 things. Y'all dress well. Y'all don't travel as good as Tennessee, but y'all stay longer than Tennessee fans. And that's why we appreciate the fans were fantastic. The Texas fans were fantastic. And I'm going to be honest with you, it was just kind of a dream day if you're an Ohio State / college football fan. With the weather, you thought you were in heaven. I don't want to overplay it, but it was just a beautiful day. So anyway, that's all I got.
Very well said. Great call from Joe. Great call from Jim from Fort Myers. Now let's head out to Joe from Whitehall. Welcome to the show, Joe.
How you doing, partner?
Oh, we're doing great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good after yesterday, no doubt. I was calling about Julian Sand, how he became the quarterback over Keinholz. Keinholz was in the program a little longer and knows Ryan Day's offense just as well as anybody. So I just wondered how they came to that decision and, how it worked out that way.
Yeah, I mean, like a couple things here. Like Julian was the number 1 quarterback recruit in the country. We know that that's not the end all be all, but pretty good. Feather in your cap if you have that mantle. So he was the number 1 QB recruit in the country. He came out of California. He played good competition out there. Handpicked by Nick Saban and Ryan Day. Ended up picking Alabama. Ohio State was the runner-up. Was at Alabama all of 1 week. Saban retiring led to Saban coming to Ohio State and Caleb Downs. So thank you, Coach Saban, for that. So you're handpicked by Nick Saban and Ryan Day. That says a lot to me. And then even last year, let's think back, even though he only had 12 passes all year and was still able to redshirt because he played in less than 4 games. He was still ahead of Keenholz on the depth chart last year. We were saying all offseason, yeah, Ryan Day is going to say this is an equal competition. I would do the same thing if I was a coach. But we were saying all offseason, Scotty, that we would have been shocked if it wasn't saying.
Well, and the big thing, too, is Julian Sand didn't make any mistakes, right? I mean, that was another thing that you and I were talking about this at the tailgate show, is there's probably going to be a weird play or two. It's week 1. There's a lot of question marks, a lot of new guys. Don't make mistakes. And you know what quarterback made mistakes? It was Arch Manning. Yeah, he was the guy who threw a pick and almost threw another pick, and so Julian Sand just managed that game really well. And now, Dave, what we'll see is them open up that playbook and let him sling it more in these games and get more experience against Grambling and OU and these games leading up. So it was a conservative offensive game plan, worked. He didn't make any mistakes. Now they're going to be opening it up going forward.
We like to keep things fresh and come up with new segments. We're going to debut one next. It's Ohio State categories. Things like who won the day? Who was the biggest loser? What was the coolest thing we saw? That's coming up next on The Money.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Parents, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Go for it.
We're listening.
Yeah.
Are your teens good with money?
She's a good kid.
She's the
but
best.
Yeah.
But,
I get it. Switch to Huntington Bank, and your teen debit card can really help.
Oh?
You can set spending limits, and your kid can track budgets, so they learn that money doesn't, in fact, grow on trees.
I think we need this.
Sounds good, yeah.
We feel you, parents. Let's get more from teen banking. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon. Nice. You guys think of everything. Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready-for-college for complete terms.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. It's football season, and just like on the field, success starts with the right game plan and the right team. That's why I'm proud to team up with Monogram Homes. They're the true custom home builder, bringing precision, creativity, and attention to every detail, just like we do on Saturdays. If you're ready to build, don't settle for standard. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes. A builder you can trust.
The roof of your home protects what matters most in your life. Your family, your memories, your peace of mind. So when it comes time to replace the roof over your head, you need a name you can trust. Newman Roofing. Don't just take our word for it. Here's our friend Cindy on why she chose Newman Roofing over all the rest.
We had interviewed and talked with several other roofing companies around the city. The salesperson that came to speak with us was extremely knowledgeable, answered questions, took his time with us. We were happy to make Newman our choice.
And you'll have peace of mind knowing that on the day of the installation, we'll give you and your home the respect it deserves.
The guys arrived right on time. The crew leader came and talked with us, let us know what they were going to be doing. He was here all day with the crew. That itself was very impressive.
If you're thinking about your roofing or siding, give Newman Roofing a call today.
We were very happy with our experience, and we would highly recommend Newman to anybody we talk to.
Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. At High Bank Distillery, they believe every pour should tell a story. The Whiskey War spirits tell the story of Prohibition in every sip. Whiskey War was awarded the best blended whiskey in America 3 years running at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition, the largest and most respected spirits competition in the world. Enjoy their naturally recognized spirits distilled right here in Ohio. Stop by your local liquor store or order a bottle direct to your door at sealbacks.com. Drink the best. Forget the rest. Learn more at highbankdistillery.com.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Here, care is where you need it. With over 350 primary care providers in Central Ohio, expert care is minutes away. See how we care for all of you at mountcarmelforyou.com. Here, heart care helps you heal faster. Advanced, minimally invasive procedures mean less time recovering and more living life. See how we care for all of you at MountCarmelForYou.com.
Tailgate season is here, and if your grill makes you have to duck when you light it, it's time for an upgrade. Billiards Plus carries top-of-the-line grills that you can pass down to your kids and gifts the whole family will enjoy. Family owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? It's all here, only with Spectrum TV Select. Popular apps are included: Disney Plus, Max, Peacock Premium, Paramount Plus, AMC Plus, and more. And live TV for sports, entertainment, and news. Enjoy across your devices no matter when or where you are. Get Spectrum TV Select and start streaming your favorites today. It's all here. Visit spectrum.com/entertainment. Restrictions apply.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Aaron White here with your 10 weather impact forecast for today. Plenty of sunshine and highs are on the upper 70s. For tomorrow, here on your Labor Day Monday, we're tracking more sunshine and highs around 80 degrees. We'll keep that going here on Tuesday with highs into the low 80s and more sunshine in the forecast. But we are tracking showers and storms here by Wednesday into Thursday, but also cooler temperatures. Highs are back in the 60s and 70s here for Thursday and Friday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan. Dave Biddle was caught trying to bet on office ping pong matchups. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sports book of ESPN. What a play.
All right, we are trying something new this football season here on the Money. What we're going to do every Sunday morning is we're going to go through different categories and hand out awards from the Buckeye game the day before. Okay, we've got 4 different awards that we're going to be doing. We're going to do what person won the day. We're going to do the biggest loser of the day. That should be pretty fun.
I love how you say it's sponsored by the replay official.
I did.
That is so
in
funny.
Parentheses.
In the show notes, Scott put biggest loser in parentheses, sponsored by the replay official. Man, death taxes and replay officials being out to lunch.
Exactly. We're also going to do the coolest thing that I saw all day, and then we're going to do the most YouTube rewatchable play of the game from the day before. And that one I said is sponsored by Holy Buckeye, because that's the play that I kind of rewatch the most is Holy Buckeye. So we'll say that is sponsored by Holy Buckeye. But Adam, go ahead, play us some music. Oh yeah. And here we go. Let's start it out with who won the day and come up with the nominees and then go with a consensus on which person won the day in week 1.
Yeah, the one that comes to mind immediately for me, no surprise, Matt Patricia.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt. And I was looking at the YouTube chat, and just about everybody agrees that Matt Patricia is probably the answer. I'll throw a couple more names out at you. First off, Julian Sayin. The fact that, I've given this stat a couple times, but the fact that he plays the number 1 team in the country in his first ever start, and you look across the field and all the hype was on the quarterback on the other team. So I give him a ton of credit for winning that game. He said his last start, there were 8,000 fans in the stands.
That's a pretty big crowd for a high school football game.
Yeah, actually pretty big.
I thought he was going to say like 800 or something like that. It must have been like a state championship game or something.
Honorable mention too, Dave. I think you got to consider Jermaine Matthews after that pick, having that huge interception. And then I think obviously Tate with that catch also.
Yeah, that was a tough catch because Julian underthrew it a little bit, but, Tate made a really nice catch there. Okay, let's come up with a consensus. Patricia,
for sure. Yeah. Patricia wins the day.
We should all have pencils in our like hats right now if we were actually wearing a hat. All right. I like that as his trademark. That pencil and the hat.
I love it too. Yeah,
I think that's cool. Yeah.
Biggest loser of the day is. I'm going to throw out some names.
Okay.
See what you think.
All right.
Arch Manning.
That was the first that came to my mind was Arch.
I've got to put Sark in there too.
Sark.
Again, and you brought this up earlier in the show. The play calling around the goal line in the red zone, very questionable. Thank you very much for Sark. And this is twice in a row, 2 big time games
Twice in
a
the
row.
same calendar year. Thank you, Sark.
The other one I put in there, biggest loser, and this could almost be sponsored by, but I thought Fox and Portnoy should be in that loser category, at least a nominee. I watched some of the clips. I didn't watch it live, but I thought a lot of it was really stupid. Like him kind of ripping on Ohio State as much as he can, and the players and the coaching and all that stuff. We knew that it was going to be kind of a troll job. I just thought it was a little cringeworthy and forced with him and Urban and all that stuff. So I have him as a nominee. Who is the biggest loser of the day?
It's got to be Arch with all the hype that was bestowed upon him, and I give him credit. He owned it after the game. If he was here right now, he did say he was the biggest loser. So I'll agree with Arch.
Yeah, and by the way, those Heisman Trophy odds, tanky. They tanked big time. So before the season, Arch was 6-1 to win the Heisman. He is now found at 22-1. Maybe my favorite text that I got all day yesterday was a picture of Arch Manning and the death of his Heisman campaign, which was dated, obviously, yesterday.
There was another funny one that had Matthew McConaughey and Arch, like they were starring in a rom-com.
Yeah, I saw that one, too.
Twice in 1 year. You did see it because I sent it to you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Hey, I was up at 5 in the morning, Dave, yesterday.
Coming up with good ideas.
Yeah.
You came up with this good idea for a new segment at 5 a.m. Hey, some of the best ideas come in the middle of the night or first thing in the morning, or if you've stayed up all night. All right, and we're getting to Arch. All right, the coolest thing that we saw. So, Corso.
Yeah, Corso in the final pick.
I mean, we've been going with our first instinct mostly. Matt Patricia, can he win 2 awards? That was pretty cool.
I thought the Scarlet
Orlando Pace being on our pregame show.
That was pretty awesome.
That was pretty cool.
The Scarlet Out in general played way better than I thought it did. Thought it would. And a big reason why, like a lot of times they put those together and it's like, okay, every school is doing these. It's kind of lame at this point. You have the blackout, you have the whiteout, this one was the Scarlet. And I'll be honest with you, the aerial shots that Fox did of the stadium looked pretty spectacular with the Scarlet.
Yes. What's a song, they're painted red to fit right in? I'm waking up. That's what it reminded me of, yeah.
The other thing, Dave, I just put campus in general as the coolest thing that I saw, just because I've never seen it like that before. Like, I've been down there. I mentioned this. I've been down on campus for every home game the last 15 years, doing tailgate show and working for the Fan. And I've never seen the energy and how crazy it was as early as it was. And look, I've been down there for OSU Michigan games, been down there for OSU Notre Dame, big time. I've never, ever, ever seen campus like that.
I haven't either. It reminded me a little bit of 20 years ago against Texas with the buzz, but again, nothing like it was yesterday because it was so condensed. Everybody was getting there by like 7 a.m. It felt like, maybe 8 a.m. at the latest. If you're trying to park in a parking garage at 8 a.m., good luck. They were packed. And then the game starting at noon. You're right, man. I've never seen it like that for like a condensed period of time. That's for sure. Okay,
we pick a winner.
I would go Corso.
That's what I put down too.
Especially with the same his last time doing it, the sight of him doing it for the first time ever, 29 years ago against Penn State here at Ohio State. So yeah, Corso. Lovely Corso. All right. Most rewatchable play on YouTube from yesterday's game. This is sponsored by Michael Jenkins and Holy Buckeye. We're joking about the sponsorship, but I like that you throw that in there. Most rewatchable play.
So there's 2 that I wrote down. One was the goal line stand, right? Because how huge that was mid-third quarter and just how awkward it was what Texas was trying to do with that.
Yeah.
But the fact that you kept that game at 7-0 was huge. And then the other one is the Tate touchdown. I will go with probably the Tate touchdown just because of how acrobatic it had to be, and he had to catch it twice, right?
Right.
So I'll go with that as probably the most rewatchable play from but the goal line stand was sweet.
Yeah, I'd love to go with the tie here, but that's not fun. So I'll agree. That was the first thing that I wrote down was the Tate catch. But man, you couldn't go wrong either way.
Yeah.
You couldn't go wrong either way.
So to sum it up, who won the day? It was Matt Patricia. The biggest loser of the day, Arch Manning. The coolest thing that we saw was the Lee Corso final pick. And then the most rewatchable play was the Tate touchdown. When we come back, we're going to do a little this or that in 2 minutes. This is On the Money.
You think you know the odds? Picture this. You're at the gas station grabbing 4 delicious taquitos when you see an Ohio Lottery ticket with 1 in 4 odds. You think, if I buy 4 in a row, 1's a definite win. Sorry, friend, but you'd be wrong. 1 in 4 odds means across the millions of tickets printed, 1 in every 4 is a winner, but not every 4th ticket since they're randomly distributed across the state. But 4 taquitos? That's a guaranteed win, 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 win. Learn more about common lottery myths at ohiolottery.com/knowtheodds. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
One of the things I had decided when I started the company was we were going to build the best window possible. We were going to give the best service possible, and I think we've accomplished that. Our reputation is built on taking care of people and building a great window and then taking care of it afterwards. It's just a darn good window.
See for yourself. Visit RossatiWindows.com.
Taking out the trash. Hey, Columbus, this is Zach Bourne.
And Jacoby Bourne.
When it comes to waste service, you want a team that knows how to deliver under pressure, just like Saturdays in the fall.
At Bourne Brothers Waste Services, our team is built on toughness, teamwork, and consistent execution.
We're the most reliable and customer service-focused waste company in Central Ohio.
Whether it is recycling, trash, construction waste, roll-off containers, front loads, or compactors, we have it handled.
Call now or visit BourneBrothers.com and let us tackle your waste needs.
Taking out the trash.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan. Scotty Vegas has his own cot in the casino. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sports book of ESPN. What a play.
We had to disagree with Ryan Baker, who came in here. He's like, Texas should have been taking the points. I'm like, well, not when they had 4th and goal from the 1. You got to go for it there. Like, if my team has 4th and goal from the 1 and they don't go for it, I'm mad if they kick a field goal. Because here's the thing. The chances are what? Typically maybe 75, 80%. Maybe if you're going against Caden McDonald, maybe not in this Ohio State defensive line or last year's, But seriously, you have a high percentage of scoring the touchdown. And if you don't, they get the ball at the 1-yard line against your defense. I've always been a proponent of going for it from 4th and 1.
Well,
go ahead.
If you remember that too, so Ohio State starts with the ball at the 1-yard line. There was a hold in the end zone. Now, fortunately, there was also a hands to the face.
Well, let's get to that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, that's the first time in football history that I've seen this happen. And initially, I was probably like every Ohio State fan. Because it looked like, oh, gosh. And even the Texas player, I was thinking safety, Texas player, safety. You're thinking, oh, holding in the end zone. You've got to be kidding me.
Yep.
But I've never seen this in football. Tell me if you have. Okay. So what was the precipice of that was the defensive lineman from Texas grabbing the Ohio State offensive lineman's face mask and twisting his head off.
Yes.
And while getting his head twisted around, the offensive lineman then grabbed onto the defensive lineman. I have never seen in football where they correctly call personal foul, grabbing the face mask, illegal hands to the face on the defensive player. And then as he's doing that, the offensive guy holds on for dear life. And they also say, by the way, we're going to have holding on that same offensive lineman, offsetting penalties.
I agree.
That is completely bogus. And I've never seen that ever in the history of football.
Well, I mean, you're right in the fact that, of course he's holding on. He got his entire helmet ripped off. Of course, the only way you're going to stop the defensive player is if you're going to hold him, if your entire head is being ripped off. That was weird. But that was such a crucial point right there that Ohio State was able to get out of that end zone, right? And I think that they had a very nice punt on that possession. Well, a couple people brought this up to me, and I 100% agree. It almost was like a trestle ball kind of football game. Oh,
yeah, for sure.
Where it was like special teams was important, and getting off a good punt in that situation was very important, and the defense, and that was a trestle. He was in the stadium. We saw pictures of him. I saw him near Matthew McConaughey and all that stuff.
Yeah, and Mac Brown. How about that picture?
And Mac Brown,
Matthew McConaughey, and Tressel just chilling. Yeah, just the 3 dudes just chilling before the game.
But it was a Tressel-style football win yesterday.
All right, Tressel, I know, speaking of Jim Tressel, he loves our segment, This or That. So let's do it, Adam. What do you think?
Here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come. This or that. This or that. This or that.
Okay, I don't even know what I'm going to pick yet, but I thought Tim May made a really good comparison on the show yesterday. We were talking about Lee Corso and what a great ambassador he's been. He's like, it reminds me so much of Dick Vitale because neither one of them are good coaches, but they just were just such great ambassadors for the game, such high energy, positivity, just likable guys. And I almost hate to do this. You getting with Lee Corso or you getting with Dick Vitale?
Oh, gosh. Boy, that is really tough because I grew up obviously loving both college basketball and college football, but I will tell you college basketball has probably been number 1A and college football 1B for me. So I am probably going to go with Dickie V. Just barely, though. Gosh, love them both. And we'll be really, really sad when Dickie V also is finished. So I'll go Dickie V over Lee Corso.
Here's my tiebreaker. Back in the day, I'm not actually mad at him about this. He got caught on a hot mic saying something nasty about Lawrence Thunderberg.
Yeah, I know.
Vitale did. So because of that, I am getting with Lee Corso.
I grew up and had a basketball game for MS-DOS that had an animated Dick Vitale caricature in it. So because of that, 100% Dick Vitale for me.
Yeah, and you think about Dickie V and all the catchphrases and stuff. And when I think about Lee Corso, you think about the mascot head. But what about the pencil too? Yeah, not so fast,
That's
my
what I was
friend.
saying. Not so fast, my friend, is his catchphrase.
Yeah,
yes, so
I
good.
know. And he would hold up that pencil and he'd be like, "Not so fast, my friend." It was I will miss Lee Corso. I know probably from the last 6 to 8 years, it's been like, how long are they going to keep him coming back?
I believe he had a stroke. I don't want to misspeak. He definitely had a health issue that he was not the same guy. And I was like, why are you keep putting him out there?
Yeah.
But he did a good job yesterday, and now he gets to ride off in the sunset. Both guys, just great ambassadors for their sports.
Okay, I want to get into the Dave Portnoy thing. I know that we, as Buckeye fans, generally really, really dislike this guy, right, from Barstool. And he's got a lot of outlandish takes about a lot of different things. But obviously, he has been trying to troll Ohio State as much as possible. And the thought there was all this debate of whether was he put on the blacklist and not allowed in the stadium, all that stuff. I don't want to get into that again because that was kind of a last week thing. But do you think as fans, are you getting with that we're too sensitive and overreact when people say things bad about our teams? Like a lot of people I saw were upset with Booger McFarland too, because during highlights he talked about, I think Penn State could be the number 1 team this week because of how they're looking against Nevada. And people were like, how could you say Penn State at number 1? Are we overreacting and too sensitive? Or, hey, no, we should be able to react how we want and feel how we want about this.
Yeah, I think overall, Ohio State fans do overreact a little bit too much. Like stuff like Booger McFarland having the opinion that Penn State would beat Ohio State, or they should still be number 1. I disagree with him, but it's not like he said, Ryan Day he is the worst coach in the country. He didn't say anything like bombastic. You know what I mean? Now with Portnoy, it's a little different. I don't mind him saying whatever he's saying. I think fans should completely ignore when he's being an obvious troll. Why give that oxygen? But when he's flat, now we'll find out if he's lying or if Ohio State's lying. Because if he's not at Iowa State next week, is he going to say Iowa State banned him? Or maybe it was Fox told him, hey, you're not going to be at the actual stadiums this year for the show. We're going to have you on via satellite. You're not going to be on site. So if he's at the Iowa State game next week and inside the stadium, we'll know Ohio State was lying. So I don't like him coming out there trolling, whatever. He's a troll specialist. But to flat out lie that Ohio State banned him, and again, we'll find out. Maybe he wasn't lying. I think he was. That's where I have a problem. But overall, yes, I am getting with Ohio State overall. Fans overreact a little bit to criticism.
I agree with you. Look, I'm someone who in 2002 used to absolutely hate Mark May and Trev Albert, right? When they would come on ESPN late at night. What was that show after all the games were over? He did it with Reese Davis.
College Football Live? No, maybe not. I don't know. College Football.
Whatever it
Game
was.
Night or something.
Yeah, something. Whatever it was. And I would get so upset at every Trev Albert and Mark May comment.
Yes.
And, I would lose sleep over it. I would just go to bed all angry, like, gosh, I hate those guys so much. And now I'm at the point where it's like, it's just trying to troll. And so like the Portnoy stuff, it just like, I don't care. Like, I just, at this point, I really don't care. I know it's Fox trying to compete with ESPN Game Day, and I get the reasoning, right? They want it for ratings, they want the build-up, they want the buzz, and they got it, and they want people talking about it. I do think that we are oversensitive at this point. I was oversensitive. I used to care what people like that would say. I do a lot less now. What about you, Adam?
Yeah, I think in general, if someone's out there saying, hey, I think this team is going to win this game that we are all watching, for us to react and say, I'm going to kill your family, that is an overreaction. That's ridiculous. I don't get behind that. I think Dave Portnoy is just a vile, disgusting human being, so I can't be unbiased on this. He sucks. He sucks. Anything that keeps him out of the public consciousness is great.
You're up. You got yours? Yep.
Yeah, that's right. I'm like, why are you still looking at me?
I was so impressed with your takedown of Dave Portnoy. I'm just staring at you now.
I was like, that wasn't that good, but thank you. So this was topical about a month ago. I've been sitting on it for a month, but I'm throwing it out there anyway.
Okay.
So about a month ago, Atlanta and Cincinnati, the Reds were playing down in Cincinnati, and in the top of the 8th inning, Atlanta scored 8 runs, putting Cincinnati with no hope of coming back, except in the bottom of the 8th inning, the first 8 batters come home and score. They tie the game. It's incredibly exciting. And then the Reds ended up losing in 10. So is it better to have the excitement? Oh my God, we came back from behind. This is amazing. There's hope. We lost. Or is it better to just not have that hope to start with?
Man, if it didn't go into extra innings, I would say give me the comeback, but you still lose, because at least the offense gets, those batters get confident.
Yeah.
But because when you throw into extra innings, that can, it was just one extra inning, but that can wear out your bullpen. So in baseball, if it's an extra innings, I would rather just get blown out rather than have a big comeback and then burn another one of my relief pitchers. But if it's a 9-inning game, give me the big comeback, give my batters some confidence moving forward, and give me the heartbreaking loss.
Okay, I'm going to bring this to a betting perspective. Okay, assuming you got a bet and your bet is losing by a lot, would you rather just the bet lose and you're done with it and it's done? Or would you rather a little comeback, get your excitement back up that your bet might win, and then the bet loses ultimately anyway? And to be honest with you, like, that comeback can be really painful. Like, you get really excited about it, but it does give you an opportunity to hedge a little bit. So I will say I would always take the comeback over just being completely blown out.
So I was initially with you, Scott, saying that I would take the comeback. But Dave, you made such a great point about extra innings when it comes to baseball that I'm actually going to have. I've had my answer for a month. I'm changing it now. I agree with you completely.
I convinced him.
In a regular season game, I'll take the comeback. But if we're going to do extra innings, save the bullpen. You're so right.
All right, gents. 2 of my favorite bands are the Foo Fighters and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You getting with Foo Fighters and Dave Grohl? You getting with the Chili Peppers?
I'm going to go Chili Peppers.
And it's really tough, but yeah, I mean, and they have so many songs. Both bands have a tremendous amount of songs. Obviously, they're 2 of my favorites. And there's actually some Chili Pepper songs I could take or leave that are even made it on the radio. But overall, I think they have some underrated songs. Again, this is like picking between your children. I love both of these bands. I love them. I'm getting with the Chili Peppers.
If we could pick eras of the band, of each band, that I would pick either one for sure. I also love both bands, but I have found, and since I don't work for an alternative rock radio station playing this anymore, I can say it. I have found the Chili Peppers kind of lame since Frusciante left the last time. I know he's back now, but it just hasn't done it for me. Whereas the last album the Foos put out after Taylor Hawkins died is just, I mean, it ripped my heart out. I think it has my favorite Foo Fighters song on it. So,
which is what?
Under You.
Yes.
That song is
great
unbelievable.
Song. Great song.
Yeah. Yeah, incredible. It gets my toe tapping. It brings tears to the eyes. It's wonderful. Love them both, but if we're going whole career, taken as a whole, I'm going Foos. And then I'm playing the sweeper.
All right, I'm going to go with this or that.
Okay.
Just give me your best bet of the day. What is the day of the games? You can go Virginia Tech, South Carolina. You can go Notre Dame, Miami. What is your favorite bet of the day?
I am going to go. I like Miami on the money line. Miami's an underdog. They're at home. I think they're a slightly better team. They've got a really good defense. I'm not a big Carson Beck fan. I can't believe he's getting $4 million, but at least he's a veteran quarterback, whereas C.J. Carr making his first start as a redshirt freshman, although C.J. Carr's very, very talented. So could go either way, but I feel like this is a coin flip game. I feel like I'm getting good value. So I'm going to go Miami money line.
Okay, and for me, staying same game, I'm going to go with the under in the Notre Dame-Miami game. I like the Miami defense. I think Notre Dame's going to run the ball. Question marks about the Notre Dame quarterback. The over-under right now is 50.5. It's actually come down a little bit. I'm going to move that line up a little bit, but I'm going to go under for my best bet of the day.
All right, so full disclosure, am a poor person. And because of that, I don't know a lot about betting. So what I like to do in situations like that is listen to the people that I know that know more than I do. And I know someone who happens to have a stage name whose last name is Vegas. So I'm going to go with the under on Notre Dame.
All right.
He's going to get it changed officially to Scotty Vegas, like Rob Mack.
Yes.
Like we talked about last week. You can get officially, or like McLovin. McLovin didn't get officially changed. It was just a fake ID.
You got to get Scotty a fake ID is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Yeah, it just says Scotty Vegas on. Oh, you're Scotty Vegas? Okay, you're free to leave, sir. One more quick one. You and I are not big coffee guys.
No, not at all.
No, I will. My wife loves coffee. We have a Keurig and everything. I've started to dabble a little bit. And yesterday before the game, I almost went over to one of those many vendors and got a coffee. But you guys get, when this is another, this, that, or the other, and you can even say something off the board here. If you need some caffeine, even if you're not a big coffee guy, but you say, I'm going to go to a coffee place, you just get in with regular coffee, meaning you can put cream and sugar in there, however you like it. You get with a cappuccino, or you getting with an espresso?
Okay, I'm not doing any of those.
Okay, what are you getting?
I am going to go with an energy drink, an actual.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you have to have something in the coffee family, so no energy drinks, like no Diet Mountain Dew. That's been kind of my coffee for the last several years.
That doesn't count.
Diet Mountain, right? Okay. You can just take caffeine pills if you want to.
Geez. That's me. Yes,
I seriously do. I take because then there's you're not getting. If I have Diet Mountain Dew, there's no calories. I get a bunch of caffeine, but there's also all the other crap that's in like Diet Pop. Yeah, I call it Pop. I'm from Ohio, baby. All right, it has to be something in the coffee realm.
Gosh.
Go with the espresso because it's quick and then you get the boost.
All right, I could take a shot of espresso. Yeah.
I like cappuccino. I'm getting with cappuccino.
I am staying asleep. I'm absolutely not drinking any of it, full stop. No, full stop. If you're going to make me pick one, whichever one I can do as a shot and have to taste the least.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I'm not drinking it. I'm not drinking it.
Both of you are Sabrina Carpenter going with the espresso. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. I know. We usually keep it with all grown-up rock, not like teeny bopper rock, but I just took the show off the rails. We're gonna get
to each their own. All music taste is subjective.
Can you tell I have two daughters? My youngest is obsessed with Sabrina Carpenter and Taylor Swift, who are now friends, by the way. Okay. Up next, let's get the show back on the rails with some best bets. That's coming at you next on The Money.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
On Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app. New customers opt in and get a free lottery ticket. Download the app and start ordering lottery tickets today. Use code VOCAL. That's code VOCAL on Jackpocket. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 or older. Jackpocket is a lottery courier and not affiliated with the Ohio Lottery. Opt in for $5 in non-withdrawable lottery credits that expire in 168 hours. Terms at jkpt.co/draw5.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I ordered the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
For a limited time, you can enjoy a savory sausage McMuffin with egg meal, including golden hash browns and a small hot coffee for just $5. Price and participation may vary.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Is there anything better than a college football Saturday? Not if you're at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Join the fan for watch parties for the games this season. Oh, you got to check out the display case of amazing autographed prizes you can win. It's beautiful. 2 massive TV walls to watch the national champs. Watch and place wagers with over 30 kiosks, contests, prizes, and live shows. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon. Nice. You guys think of everything. Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready for college for complete terms.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
I have a buddy who's going to be popping the question soon. He's planning everything out. He asked me, can you help me out with the ring? I said, of course I can. I've got a guy, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Now you talk, Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace. I'm your guy.
Go in, see my friends at Worthington Jewelers, tell them I sent you, and you'll get the true VIP experience.
I'll treat them better than I treat you.
That's not hard. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged. And tell them Common Man sent you. I have a buddy who's going to be popping the question soon. He's planning everything out. He asked me, can you help me out with the ring? I said, of course I can. I've got a guy, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Now you talk, Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace. I'm your guy.
Go in, see my friends at Worthington Jewelers, tell them I sent you, and you'll get the true VIP experience.
I'll treat them better than I treat you.
That's not hard. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged. And tell them Common Man sent you.
Morning Juice, real football talk. Just 2 guys who aren't afraid to say what needs to be said. And that's how she wrote.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Now streaming mornings on YouTube and 10 TV Plus. Attack and dominate.
It's the Ford Labor Day sale event at Valley. F-150 and Lightning, Escape, Explorer, Bronco, Expedition, Mustang, and Mach-E. All brand new 2024 and 25s. Buy yours with 0 down, 0 payments for 90 days, plus 0 APR for 48 big months. And all with a 2-year premium maintenance plan added. Hurry in by Monday and choose from over 600 in stock at Valley Ford of Columbus in Hilliard. Open Labor Day, 11 till 4.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
When it comes time to replace the roof over your head, you need a name you can trust. Newman Roofing. Don't just take our word for it. Here's our friend Cindy.
We were very happy with our experience, and we would highly recommend Newman to anybody we talk to.
Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks, trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
D. Biddle's favorite kind of psychology is reverse psychology. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sports book of ESPN. What a play.
What a play, and what a Sunday in Columbus. That's right. Ohio State takes down Texas 14-7. Had a blast yesterday. What an incredible day on campus. And let's look ahead now. We're going to try and make you a little richer. We've got some best bets to hand out. I mentioned earlier in the show, I really like the under in Notre Dame, Miami tonight. I'm moving that line up, though. Right now, the total is 50.5. I'm moving it up to 56.5. And then I'm also taking Virginia Tech plus 10.5 against South Carolina. That's my best bet parlay for today. Dave, before we get to your best bet real quick, couple lines are out for games for next weekend. Unfortunately, it's not as exciting of a schedule next weekend, but you've got Texas minus 37.5 against San Jose State. I think they might take some frustration out on San Jose State next week. You've got Oregon, a 4-touchdown favorite over Oklahoma State, but the big one is Michigan at Oklahoma, and Oklahoma is a 3.5-point favorite over Michigan for next week.
And that's one of my best bets, I think. And I said coming into the year, not that we're that far into it, I thought Oklahoma was very underrated. 6.5 was their over-under for wins. And I'm like, listen, they brought in a really good quarterback, John Mateer, who also has funny things that he says on his Venmo payments. And I believed him from the get that he was just being funny with his friends. You should see some of the things that my friends put. I run a fantasy football league, but they put on Venmo when they pay me. Right, it's just guys having fun. So, but Mateer was a really good quarterback at Washington State. Brought his offensive coordinator with him. So I don't think Brent Venables is a good head coach, but like if you get the right coordinators, then you can be more of a CEO. And I think he does have the right coordinators now. I think it's going to be a good game. Michigan's a good team. There's no doubt about it. I thought Bryce Underwood, while he didn't set the world on fire or anything, I thought he looked comfortable, which is big for a true freshman in his first game yesterday. But give me Oklahoma to cover that spread. And then as for tonight, I like Miami on the money line. Yeah. And I like what you said. I like the under of Miami Notre Dame. As you said, it could be a little sloppy. It could be some rain. You have a new quarterback in CJ Carr. You have a good defense on both sides of the ball. Miami's got a really good defensive line.
Well, Dave, and I told you the most 3 bet on teams in week 1. Number 1 was Texas plus 1. They lost. Number 2 was Alabama minus 14. They lost. The third most bet on team, Notre Dame. They play tonight.
All right, that's our show for today. For Scotty Vegas and Adam Latek, I am Dave Biddle. Do not go anywhere. Up next is the Fan Call-In Show with Ryan Baker and Scotty. Give the guys a call, 614-821-9710. 614-9710. This has been On the Money.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Get Eco.
Aaron, what's your favorite holiday? Labor Day. No, really. What's your favorite holiday? Labor Day.
Get Eco.
Labor Day is when we celebrate the working people of America. Like plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians? Sure, but we're also celebrating nurses, police officers, office workers, firefighters, school teachers, landscapers, and those people who faithfully pick up our garbage on trash day. And waiters and waitresses? And car mechanics and... And daycare workers. We can't leave out daycare workers. Hooray for Labor Day! Jerry, when you look at working people, what do you see? I see the people who built America. I see love. Love? Love with its sleeves rolled up. Wow. Working people are the people who take care of everybody. Labor Day is when we celebrate the working people who built America and keep it strong. Happy Labor Day, everyone. Get Eco at geteco.com.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Looking for bold flavors and award-winning spirits? High Bank Distillery Co. is your destination for handcrafted cocktails, locally inspired dishes, and Whiskey War, the nationally recognized whiskey. Whether you're going for brunch, dinner, or just a drink, High Bank brings the perfect mix of craft and comfort. Stop by their Grandview, Gahanna, and Westerville locations this week. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank Distillery Co., where great spirits meet even better company. Learn more at highbankco.com.
Delaware County Veterans Services, here for those who served. Located on the ground floor of the historic courthouse in downtown Delaware, our team of veteran county veteran service officers is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Need a ride to a VA appointment? Facing a financial emergency? Are you or your spouse simply looking for answers? Then give Delaware County Veterans Services a call. 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. Delaware County Veterans Services.
My name is Andre Roberts, and I'm a defender for the Ohio State men's soccer team. When I was in 7th grade, I fractured my kneecap. That was my first experience with Orthopedic One. My physician came in the room and delivered the diagnosis, and with the confidence that he had, it reassured me that I would be okay. And they definitely did a good job of knowing as a soccer player when I needed confidence, when I needed to be pushed, and they got me right back to where I was before my injury. Orthopedic One understood what it means to be a soccer player.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Now at Great Lakes Hyundai of Dublin, lease 2 Elantras for $200. That's right, lease 2 new 2025 Elantra SEs for just $200 a month for 24 months. Both your new Elantras come with complimentary Hyundai maintenance, with free oil changes and tire rotations for your entire lease. GLakesHyundaiofDublin.com. With proof credit, $39.99 down per unit plus taxes, fees, first month payment, 10K miles per year in 92.